let me introduce the VizCast mobile app to you. The VizCast mobile app is designed to track your production process in the palm of your hand. It operates with a simple login, which can also be used with a QR code. Once logged in, I'm presented with a list of jobs that I'm assigned to. So if I'm not assigned to any particular jobs, I see a comprehensive list of all the jobs and projects that are going on here. However, my manager or supervisor can assign specific jobs or specific steps on that job to complete, so that the list that I see as soon as I open my mobile app reflects the work that needs to be done. You see in the top here I have a search bar where I can search for a particular job, but if I decide to use QR codes, where we really see the advantage of a mobile app come into its own, I can directly scan a QR code in order to load the correct job that I need to work on. This QR code can be assigned to a specific project site or a specific component that I need to work on, so it provides a very generic solution to immediately find the correct information I need to track. Now let me talk about how we actually track data that is captured on the job. You see up here we have some timing information, and when I press this play button, my timer starts. In this basic way, we can make sure that we track how long each step of a job takes, and I can immediately see if something is taking longer than it should, or if there are any delays encountered. In this view here, I can see instructions. So these are any kind of information that I want the person to see as they are completing a job. They can be videos, images, or text instructions. This way I can communicate directly with the person performing this particular part of a process and make sure that they have the guidance and the information that they need in order to complete the step successfully. Next, we can track inventory. So this is any specific part or resource that's used or consumed during the work that is performed in this particular step. It also is used to track anything that I'm producing in this step. So if I'm making something that's passed to a subsequent step, all of this can be tracked directly in my mobile app and my inventory can be automatically updated. I can also use this to track quantities or any defects that are found in components. We can also leverage QR codes once again. So if my parts or components are large and geographically distant, I can actually use QR codes to correctly identify, using my mobile app, which component I'm working on, without having to know which item to select in the inventory. Next, let me talk about checklists. So, checklists let you capture any additional information about the work that you're conducting on a step. It can be numbers, plain text, notes, measurements, or even electronic signatures. These checklists can be completely configured to capture the information that you need and can be used for a variety of purposes. Just now we saw a checklist that's completed as part of a process step, but we can also use checklists to track things like deliveries. Here you quickly see our delivery module, and I can select jobs that have been completed where I would like to log a delivery ticket. The information logged in the delivery ticket is again captured in a checklist. I'll just show you here how checklists are actually configured. You see, this is our web version, and in the web version, we actually have a checklist builder where we can select the specific controls and components that appear in a checklist. We also have a specific approval method to control when a checklist is available for the users in a mobile app. This lets us design a checklist and make sure everything is working correctly before a checklist is actually released in the mobile app. Now, checklists can of course also be filled out within a production job on the web version. So you see here, we see a web version of a checklist, and this kind of information mirrors the same sort of information that this checklist will ask for when loaded in our mobile app. So this gives us the flexibility to use those checklists on a web, a tablet, or a mobile phone, depending on the circumstances. Go back to my main screen. I'll show you quickly how these steps are configured. So this is how we actually define the work that needs to take place to complete a job. To do that, I'll enter into this workflow module here. As I load up the workflow module, you see a list of all my workflows. So for each type of production process, I can have a unique workflow that tracks the information I want to capture for that production process. To show you a simple one, here I have a gear manufacturing process, which is just consisting of a couple of different steps. I can easily add additional steps and in this drag and drop interface, so I can connect up the process as I need to track what needs to happen. So as I connect up these steps, this actually defines the sequence that needs to take place for this production job to happen. I use a node to connect between each step so that I can branch off into different steps if need be. Once I've defined the sequence of production steps that need to take place, I can click into each one of these steps to define the data that I want the person completing the production to see, and also to track what data I would like to capture. To customize this tool for your particular manufacturing process, we use what's called the Workflow Builder. The Workflow Builder is a simple drag and drop interface to actually construct the flow of work that needs to take place in your manufacturing process. You can see here on this very simple workflow, I have a number of steps and a particular sequence in which these steps need to be carried out. I can just simply click and drag to connect steps in the sequence that I want them to be executed. These steps will then correspond to the steps that are visible on the production floor. As I can see here on this screen, if I go back here, I can see the clear sequence of steps that I've laid out in my workflow. And the system will actually control when each step can be accessed based on the sequence that I define within the Workflow Builder. I can then inform for each one of these steps what information I would like to have collected from the production floor. And I can do this by clicking into one of these steps and seeing some of the options here. I can define a desired runtime or cycle time for a particular step, which will inform my scheduling. I can also attach specific instructions in the form of images, generic files, or videos to communicate with the production floor workers what they need to actually do for this particular step. I can define users that I want to actually have work on this step, or particular equipment or machines that need to be used for this step as well. Finally, I can track the inventory that's used in this step. ArcLight comes with a built-in inventory manager, and as inventory is used, this can be tracked. And here I can define the type of inventory or resources that are required to complete the work in a step.
To report a defect ticket, select the project, click on defect tracked. You can enter the work order number to view if there's any defect tickets created under it. You can click add, select the defect type, defect description, or any other modules that you would like to report under the project. Click to attach image, click to key in your comments. You can annotate the image. Or you can delete the image. You can assign it to another personnel. And you'll see that the ticket will go into WIP status. So when the ticket is in WIP status, you will be able to attach an image and resolve this ticket. When the ticket is resolved and submitted, it will go to the complete status, where you will be able to approve or reject the submission. It's optional to take an image. And you'll be back to WIP status, where you can complete the job again. approve, and it will be closed. So this page, when it's closed, it will show all the transactional history for the entire job of the defect ticket. You can click on images to view the image attached. You can download it. The dashboards will show you two kinds of dashboard: a real-time production status and the productivity summary dashboard. Looking at the real-time production status, it will show you the jig and the module that is in production. You can toggle between, and it will show you the jig and the module and its status based on the color legend at the bottom. So click into the module and you'll be able to see the steps and the status of the different steps based on the legend below. For the production summary update, you will see the breakdown of the jobs in different status. Click on the summary table and you will see it in absolute value.
For using the toolset, we are using conventional clipboard to record the status or progress of individual module and hang it on the whiteboard to simulate the production layout on a daily basis. Every morning, our production team has to inspect the module one by one on the quality and progress and record it on the clipboard. Based on the status of each PVC module, production team need to coordinate the two respective subcom to arrange and carry out their work accordingly. As the production status of every single module are recorded on the clipboard, management is not able to have a real-time status on the production progress and quality at a glance. Hence, there will be some of downtime where we are not able to identify and address the production issue immediately. Before implementation, there were times where the main contractor lost a copy of the DOs that were sent to the site during delivery, and we have to reprint and reissue the DO that were lost back to the main contractor again. We have been working closely with Arcstone team to develop add-on feature that is electronic delivery order, allow us to receive a real-time report on site DO soft copy. With the newly added feature, EDO can be generated with the toolset easily. Upon receival of the PPVC module, the main contractor can sign off the DO on the toolset, and RPI is able to retrieve the signed DO via the Arcstone software. The DO are also organized in running order, which make it easier for data tracking and validation. All PPVC module has its own unique QR code, where every single PPVC module status is captured in the dashboard, so that all the stakeholders is able to access and have a better view on the overall project progress, how many module pending to start, in progress, delay, deliver, install on site. In order to increase production capacity, it's critical to increase labor productivity across process steps, as majority of processes are labor and subcon dependent. Over the past few years, we have been working closely with Arcstone team to develop solutions to track progress of module with additional improvised features. Currently, we try to utilize toolset to conduct performance management to drive improvement in labor productivity. By leveraging the data collected from our current toolset and link up with business intelligence tool that is Power BI, which allow us to analyze and drive improvement in labor productivity and increase overall production throughput. By implementing daily performance management to understand the root cause of delay, deviation, and conducting observation through touch time analysis, identify initiatives that could reduce overall cycle time deviation from 27% to 14%, which could lead to the overall revenue improvement of around 470k Sing dollar.
These two steps serve REI as a launchpad to digitally transform our work process and management with real-time update data reflecting on the dashboard, either in mobile or web version. The toolset dashboard allows us to determine the overall project status with just a single click. Likewise, for the individual module activity status, where we can track the current status of the module based on the real-time data. With the real-time activity dashboard, all the respective subcon can prepare their work in advance, and they will be prompted immediately which are the module that is ready for them to move in and start their work, which can minimize the uplink time, thereby improve the production efficiency. In order to optimize production efficiency, we have also introduced add-on features such as QA/QC report and defect tracking to improve real-time communication and defect rectification validation. This is incorporated into the software whereby defect ticket can be raised. Defect for a module can be tracked if there are any using the defect tracking function. Once a defect ticket is raised, the relevant track will have to rectify and require an approval form from the supervisor to clear the defect. This replaces the conventional way to checking defect, where we take picture and communicate to the worker using WhatsApp.
This toolset is easily understandable and utilized from a user's point of view. This toolset digitalizes the conventional work processes and workflows that we have in our current system. It helps us save time and improves our productivity. Of course, there are challenges when learning and using this toolset. I vividly remember one of the challenges that I faced was getting used to certain keywords that is crucial in the setup of a new project within this toolset. It took me some time to be familiar in using these keywords as they are pertinent to the project setup and execution. But when one is familiar with how the keywords and the system of this toolset works, the overall setup and execution is easy to utilize.
Mobile app of this toolset is more beneficial to me as it enables users to easily input data for data collection, where it then updates the progress of the work in its mobile dashboard. In the past, we need to record everything manually on a piece of paper and then transfer the copy item onto our whiteboard in our office. This is really time consuming as we have to manually copy and then transfer the data to our board. With this toolset, users can easily scan the QR code, update and submit the input data seamlessly into the system. Also, they can easily view the project progress with just a single click on the mobile dashboard.